This is a Saturday Morning TV log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TV log, and this time around it's the Pink Panther and Sons, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera, Mirisch-Geoffrey-DePatie-Freleng and MGM UA Television. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Duel, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TV log is the Pink Panther and Sons, the first ever Pink Panther series not to involve any classic short series. Anyway, now of course this series was not to be produced by, well, not just the studio that originally gave this to us, Mirisch-Geoffrey-DePatie-Freleng. Despite the DePatie-Freleng production company, DePatie-Freleng existed as an in-name only enterprise by this time, as its operations were absorbed into Marvel Productions 3 years prior. So they got animation giant Hanna-Barbera to take over, since Freleng was a close friend of the duo of William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, since they worked at MGM's cartoon studio in 1930s. Freleng served as creative producer for the series. And DePatie also served as producer of the show, along with Kay Wright for Hanna-Barbera. The show originally premiered on NBC in September of 1984. Anyway, now, the show is of course based on the famous character that had been around for 20 years at the time. Well, actually, it was now on 21. Now, the series actually centers on the titular character's two sons, his preteen son Pinky and toddler brother Panky, along with their friends in the Rainbow Panthers crew: Chetta, Rocco, Murphle, Annie, and Pumpkin. Now, each week, the Rainbow Panthers, along with Pinky and Panky, come together in friendship as they learn about growing up and get into all sorts of zany misadventures. And they also have to go up against some troubles, especially a group of lions known as Howl's Angels. Each episode would have would have maybe about 3 to 5 minute cartoons, but actually it was just mostly less than that, featuring the Pink Panther book ending the main cartoons. Yes, because there'd be one short right after the first cartoon and before the second one. Now, as a kid, I do born and grow up in the 80s. I do remember watching this show. The Pink Panther and Sons is easily another rare gem and what have you. Because after this, I've looked through all sorts of my sources for channels. This show had never been seen again after its initial one season. It only lasted for one season. It did continue in reruns for the next year, and then in 1986, they sent it to ABC for reruns. But after that, the show was never seen again. However, there was a children's book based on, there was a children's book that came out during the series run called Pink Panther Fun at the Picnic. However, unlike the series, Pink was actually shown speaking, and the story was where the titular character had been hired as a magician for a party and asked Pinky to assist him, upsetting Panky, who felt left out. And so Pink decides to start his act creating 2 Pink Panthers displaying his 2 sons on stage. Well, despite the show was never aired on any other channel again, not even Cartoon Network nor Boomerang had even aired it. The show, I felt, might have been lost forever, but however, years later that changed though. Because years later, the official Pink Panther YouTube channel actually got the series. Unfortunately, they only got the series, segments with the Pinky and Panky bits and what have you. Nothing else. No intro, no closing, etc., etc. But however, a little over, just a little over a year from now, from this very year, in in late October 2023, the series actually got to return. And while despite it's not available on physical media, I'm sorry, no DVDs, no Blu-rays, etc. The series finally got to be featured on various digital platforms, including MGM Plus and Prime Video. That's right, you heard me correctly. The series is actually now on Prime Video as well, with the series completely restored with its intro and closing credits. And yes, the Hanna-Barbera swirling star is included as well after the closing credits. You'll be happy to know. But anyway, now, while of course we know Pink doesn't talk, but everyone else does. Now, for our voice acting cast, we have Billy Bowles taking over the role of Pinky. Very polite, and well, he generally ends up getting in the most dangerous situations, such as turning 6 inches tall in one episode. And is the one who comes up with the most of the ideas. He's the team leader of the Rainbow Panthers. Next is his kid brother, Pinky, who is voiced by B.J. Ward, who recently voiced Elektra in the Team Force segment on Space Stars, as well as Janet of the Jungle, and various characters in the solo Spider-Man cartoon from 1982, as well as recently voicing Butch and Waldo on Hanna-Barbera's Little Rascals cartoon, and Betty Ross on the Incredible Hulk cartoon, which was a recent hit for Marvel Productions. Of course, she later went on to do other cartoons, including the last seasons of The Super Friends, The Littles, Voltron, Snorks, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Challenge of the GoBots, G.I. Joe, Centurions, The Flintstone Kids. Whew, oh, the list goes on. Anyway, now Panky, well, it's pretty comical because his diaper is never tied correctly, so he just holds it up wherever he goes. Since he is still a toddler, he is considered very impressionable and tends to wander from Pinky at times. Now, for the rest of the Rainbow Panthers, voicing Chatta is Sherry Lynn, who has done numerous voice acting work, but there's tons of them. Too many to mention, though. This was one of her earlier voice acting work. She later went on to do voice acting, for My Little Pony, as well as Rugrats, and the Get-Along Gang, where she voiced Portia Porcupine, which actually that premiered the same year that was on. She also did voice acting in various films as well, including Beauty and the Beast, Brother Bear, Cars, Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, and even the Toy Story films, the first three, plus Up and Wall-E as well. Now, Chaz, one of the members of the Rainbow Panthers, she's a purple panther and is in love with Pinky and often tries to impress him to win his affection. She also has an enormous vocabulary. Next, we have Murphle, voiced by Shane McCobb. Now, he's a Green Panther who wears an oversized knit-cap. He always mumbles or slurs when he speaks, kind of in a silly way like a mushmouth from Fat Albert. But just differently, though. And as a result, it is difficult, albeit possible, for the audience to decipher what he's saying, although the members of the Rainbow Panther seem to understand him without much hassle. Next is Rocco, voiced by voice god Frank Welker. He's a yellow panther who is the most athletic of the group, and he's always seen sporting boxing gloves and shorts. Welker also voices Finko, the leader of Howl's Angels. He's an orange-colored lion with a multicolored mohawk. He's Pinky's rival, and one time was babysitter to Pinky at the time. which that was a pretty good episode, actually. Next, we have Annie, voiced by Jeannie Ilias, an orange panther, although she kind of looks brown, though, but it's an orange color she is. Sports overalls and a hard hat. She's very scientific and is considered the intellectual of the group. And the final member is Pumpkin, who is also voiced by BJ Ward. I apologize for failing to bring that up. Pumpkin's a blue panther who wears a baseball cap and a wool sweater. And he tends to confuse words and often requires multiple attempts to say what he means. Now, here's for the rest of the Howl's Angels. Also voiced by Jeannie Elias is Leona, a lioness who's tough but pretty. She has a crush on Pinky, where she and Chad fight for his affection. Then there's Howl, voiced by Marshall Efron, who, of course, was, let's see, was an actor and humorist who actually worked on the PBS series The Great American Dream Machine. He had recently voiced Ratso on the Quickie Koala Show in the Dirty Dog segment, as well as recently lent his voice to the Smurfs, Shirt Tails, and the Biscuits. That same year, he would voice Fat Cat in Kid Video, which also debuted on NBC. He also later went on to lend his voice to the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, the Transformers, and Snorks. Now, apparently, Howl is the scheming right-hand man to Finko. He wears a saucepan on his head as a helmet. Other two members of the Howl's Angels are Bullhead, voiced by Greg Berger, and Buckethead, voiced by Sonny Melendez. They're two of Finko's goons and are often paired together when partaking in the Howl's Angels schemes, usually serving as comic relief. Fin's name's Bullhead wears a bowl on his head adorned with horns, while Bucket wears an iron bucket. Oh boy. So, anyway, I think the characters of this series is really something. Anyway, now, though there were only 13 episodes produced and aired, there were two, well, not counting the Pink Panther shorts that bookended the shorts, well, the Pink and Panther adventures, there was there were two shorts per episode, forming an overall total of 26 segments per episode. But anyway, now again, as I've said, you can't find the show on physical media, so you gotta stream it. If you want to get a sample of it, you can go to the official Pink Panther YouTube channel and check out an episode. If you're interested, go stream the series on MGM Plus or Prime Video, or if there's another streaming service that has it, then watch it. All the episodes are available, but I must warn you though, if you watch it on Prime, the episodes 2 through 4 or 5 were kind of in the wrong spot and what have you. But the first and the rest of the episodes were in their right positions. Well, from airing, I think. But anyway, enough said. Okay. Oh yeah, there is another way you can catch it. If you are not aware, there is a Pink Panther by MGM Fast channel you can find on Prime Video, or maybe some other services may have that Fast channel. You can catch it there, along with the other Pink Panther series, which of course includes the theatrical shorts and also the later Pink Panther show from the 90s and the Pink Panther and Pals series that aired on Cartoon Network. And that's that. So, let's get a look at the characters. Here's actually just about the whole group and what have you. Sorry, not all of the Howl's Angels is in here, unfortunately. You see Finko, and there's Leon, and there's the others. You'll know who the others are by their colors. You know what I'm saying? So now you know about the Pink Panther and Sons. I would recommend you give this a shot. If you like shows that follow in the footsteps of other shows, or maybe the kiddie versions of shows, kind of like what we later got on the Flintstone Kids, or even Muppet Babies, which actually happened to premiere the same year this show did, then I think you'll feel right at home with the Pink Panther and Sons. Watch it. You won't be disappointed. You might like it. So that's going to do it for the Saturday Morning TV Log. Did you ever watch the Pink Panther and Sons when you were a kid? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel, give them to know me, maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like. And stay tuned, tonight I will be giving you a spoiler-free review of Marvel Studios' newest attempt in the MCU, Thunderbolts. Also expected now in theater reaction as well. So if you like this, check out some of these other Saturday Morning TV Logs. Here's 2 shows I just told you about that if you liked, if you really want to check out Pink Panther and Sons. The upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV Log on Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, and the upper right-hand corner is the Flintstone Kids Saturday Morning TV Log. Or if you'd like another show with a group of friends trying to, well, spread friendship and what have you, check out my Saturday Morning TV Log on the Gale Gang, which of course premiered the same year this in 1984 in the bottom left-hand corner. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV Log, then I'm your guide. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TV Log is The Adventures of Raggedy Ann and Andy. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.